My name's Dan Allred, and I live in Corydon, Iowa, and farm near Cambria, where I grew up in Wayne County, Iowa. Your soil's full of life. I mean, you think of it as livestock, you know, on top of the ground is cattle, and there's probably actually more underneath the soil than there is on top. In your soil, they're kind of responsible for changing the nutrients from the form we apply to the forms that the plants can use, and all the other microorganisms in the soil. So, good root system in a dry year will improve your yield. I mean, the roots can go down and tap into the moisture where a shallow root system will still be sitting in the dry dirt and starving for water. The generate plants that we dug last year from up on the corner there, Mark come out one day, it was wet, and we had trouble carrying them to the road, where the ones that weren't treated, they were just half the weight. I mean, there was so much more root mass on those plants that you could tell there was twice as much dirt on them the roots were holding on to. So to me, if last year would have been a dry year, we would probably been able to drive by on the road and see a difference in the plant color. The generate and starter combination this year, it's early enough that we're not to the stage of the root growth that I mentioned earlier, but the roots we have dug, they're starting to get a mass to them, and well, I think the greater root mass probably is attributed to the nutrients being more available to the plant where they're treated. And driving by on the highway a couple weeks ago, the untreated plants were purple and the treated ones were not. So that tells me that there was a greater uptake of maybe phosphorus in the greener plants because of the product. Well, I think the biggest difference is the nutrients in the furrow just puts the plant ahead of the game. It gets the seedling out of the ground faster, and 2 or 3 days here and there can make a big difference by the time the corn plant starts drying down in the fall to lose moisture. Yeah, last year we tried to generate with soybeans, and we saw a pretty significant yield advantage on one entry last year. Yeah, one entry was 11 bushels better on soybeans, so you figure $8 beans, that's plenty enough extra to pay for the product. So, well, I think Agnition's been good to work with. They've been here looking at plants quite often, digging plants up, and had people from the company here, and I think they're a real well represented company.